What do we leave behind when we depart this world? Words. Whispers that linger long after the speaker is gone. Today, we journey through time to uncover the final utterances of history's giants, words of defiance, wisdom, irony, and even humor. These are not just endings, they are windows into the souls of those who shaped our world. Let's begin. Our first stop, the Roman Empire, 44 BCE. Julius Caesar, the dictator who reshaped Rome, met his end on the Ides of March. As senators plunged their daggers, Caesar's last words, reported by the historian Suetonius, were not a roar, but a gasp of betrayal. You too, Brutus. Et tu, Brute. Was this real, or a dramatization by Shakespeare centuries later? Historians debate, but the phrase immortalized a timeless lesson: power is fragile, and loyalty even more so. Now, to ancient Athens. Socrates, the father of philosophy, condemned to death for corrupting the youth. His final act, a calm sip of hemlock poison, followed by a cryptic request: Credo, we owe a rooster to Asclepius. Don't forget to pay the debt. Asclepius was the god of healing. Was Socrates implying death was a cure for life suffering, or mocking his accusers? We may never know, but his serenity in the face of mortality still stirs awe. Fast forward to 1431. Joan of Arc, the teenage warrior saint, burned at the stake for heresy. Flames rising, she cried out, "Jesus, Jesus, Jesus," a plea for salvation or a defiant affirmation of faith. Either way, her legacy outshone her executioners. Within decades, the church declared her innocent, a posthumous victory whispered through fire. These voices from antiquity remind us, even in death, the human spirit refuses to be silenced. Next, the Renaissance, an era of art, discovery, and turbulent politics. In 1603, Queen Elizabeth I, the Virgin Queen, lay dying. Her final words, "All my possessions for a moment of time." A shocking admission from a ruler who'd sacrificed love for power. Was it regret, or a calculated epitaph to humanize her legend? Either way, it echoes the universal ache for more time. Now, Vienna, 1827. Ludwig van Beethoven, deaf and bedridden, clutched his pen as lightning split the sky. His last words, "Plaudite, amici, commedia finita estate." Applaud, friends. The comedy is over. A theatrical exit for a man who transformed chaos into symphony. But here's the twist. Some claim he actually said, "I'll hear in heaven." Which version resonates? Perhaps both, the artist and the mortal, side by side. And then there's Voltaire, the Enlightenment's sharpest wit. When a priest begged him to renounce Satan on his deathbed, Voltaire retorted, "Now is not the time to make new enemies." Classic Voltaire, defiant to the end. Yet his final written words were fiercer. Crush the infamous, a rallying cry against tyranny that still fuels revolutions. From crowns to quills, these figures prove that even endings can spark new beginnings. Our final chapter begins in 1793, at the height of the French Revolution. Marie Antoinette, the doomed queen, ascended the scaffold. Legend says she accidentally stepped on her executioner's foot and murmured, "Pardon me, sir, I did not do it on purpose." A trivial moment, or a haunting glimpse of grace under the blade. History remembers her as a symbol of excess, but her last act was startlingly human. Next, 1900. Oscar Wilde, the poet of decadence, lay penniless in a Paris hotel. Staring at peeling wallpaper, he quipped, "Either that wallpaper goes, or I do." True. Exaggerated. It hardly matters. Wilde turned even death into a punchline, a final middle finger to a society that scorned him. Finally, 1955. Albert Einstein, the genius who unlocked the cosmos, muttered his last words in German, but his nurse didn't speak the language. They died with him. How poetic. The man who redefined eternity left us with an unsolvable equation. What would he say about that? Perhaps imagination is more important than knowledge. In their final breaths, these icons became more than legends. They became us, flawed, fearful, yet undeniably alive. And so, the candle flickers out, but the echoes remain. These last words, whether defiant, witty, or achingly vulnerable, remind us that history isn't carved in stone, it's written in whispers, and we are all temporary scribes. If these echoes moved you, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell, because history isn't just about the past, it's about who we are now. Leave a comment. Which last words haunted or inspired you? And don't forget to like this video. It helps us keep the candle burning. Until next time, stay curious.